Hello to all my friends out there. Hi, you guys. I hope everyone had a wonderful Easter. Okay, this video is get ready for a crisis. 2 weeks storable food. And then I'm going to go into some of the things I just noticed. Okay, one of the biggest crises that a person could face is old age. You know, I was driving to the gym and I thought, oh my God, thank God I can still drive. And then I thought, oh my God, thank God I still have a car. Thank God I have enough money to buy some gas. Thank God I got food in my house. All those things are a potential crisis. Okay, but we're avoiding the worst of it if possible. Have you guys seen this stuff at Dollar Tree? It's really, really good. Quick tea masala, instant chai tea. Just add hot water. This stuff is so good. I can recommend this. Okay, so let's just think about a couple of things. And if we're honest, maybe we can see a potential cause for not alarm, but okay, here's what the packets look like. They're pretty substantial. So my water is boiling, so I'll just turn it down, and I want to cook it for a few minutes to get the flavor into my tea. All right, take a look at this. The fudge I made the other day, you know, for the holidays. Maybe I'll have a piece. Why not? All right. Think about any of these things could happen to any one of us at any time. All right. All right. Injury, illness, and unemployment. So those are not really good things. Okay. Forced to leave your house or apartment. It happens to a lot of seniors. And so the owner wants his apartment back, and then I don't know what they're assuming because they're not going to give you your deposit back. After 16 years, they did give me $400 back. I figured I had paid them about $250,000 in 16 years. But it was better than nothing, and so we bought Bitcoin. We mined some Bitcoin, okay? That's what you call a silver lining. No, it really happened. Hate those people. But you could lose your... So here is... what I was going to mention about this fudge is it reminded me of this tea drink. It was like your basic 5-minute fudge, but the fudge contained very, what do you want to call this, super fine sugar. Okay, injury, illness, unemployment, forced to leave your apartment, mental illness, car wreck, old age. That's why I do the gym, to try and generate stem cells. I got so tired yesterday, I look like heck, but that's okay. Now, think about people afflicted with childhood poverty. You know, a lot of them end up on the street because they just don't have good skills, you know. So then you're kicked out. You need 1 or 2 months. And then, speaking of illness, oh, this is a good one. People are getting organs of infants and children, adult people, because there's none available. You know, it's funny because I know quite a few people that are on the waiting list, and I go, oh, don't worry, you'll get one. You're on the list, because we've known people, but I guess the list is longer now. So people have gotten organs from the sea country, adults getting infant and childhood organs. Okay, so that's a disaster. Okay, and then so I'm going to do I just learned this food plan and how you can live, you can stockpile and live on for long periods of time on very limited numbers of food. Okay, and then I want to talk to you about car living, how important it is to view your car as a dwelling. Okay, I'm sleeping, all of a sudden we have an earthquake, and it was only 5.2. A lot of us said we think it was more. But anyway, they said it was an earthquake that was very close to the surface. I don't know if that had anything to do with it, but I'm on a solid granite hill, so I'm in my house thinking I never have to worry about earthquakes. Well, guess what? That was a bad one. And then the other thing that happened is that there was some sewage in the ocean that kind of tainted the water here. And so both times I didn't have enough water, and they're saying now make sure you have food and water for a month. Okay, now when we want to live in such a way, we're always preparing for a crisis. Think of the fire in Hollywood. Those are the rich people. Not all of them. They're still working on that. One of my neighbors works up there. It was really bad. So here is what we want to get this into our minds. There is no extra money. That is not extra money. That is just money that you need to put away in case something happens. And it seems like all around us, a lot of rotten stuff can happen to people we know. Okay, so let's talk about, this stuff is good. You got to try this stuff. Dollar Tree. That is so good. I bought something else for somebody who's supposed to be saving their money. These are so delicious. These are 7-Eleven boba mango tea. I bought myself one. I said, I want one. I bought it. So I confess to you guys. Okay, so then I want to talk to you. Okay, I'm on the no spend. And so you might be thinking, you're not spending, but you're spending. What I wanted to do was buy enough. I had a no spend cycle of 12 days, then 12 days. So I have 2 days left in this cycle and then 12 coming up. And so I wanted to stockpile enough food so I don't have to buy food for 14 days. Now let me show you the 2 best things I ever found. And they were good ones too. And it was like, it's the Augustus Caesar diet and then Rocky Ingram. Let me show you. Go to this channel and start watching it. He talks about what he eats, his exercise routine. And then this was the diet that Augustus Caesar pretty much ate. He lived to be 75. He would have lived longer, but he was poisoned by his wife. So that was not good. So rustic bread with pine nuts, cheese, small fishes, and figs or dry fruit. Then Rocky Ingram. So nothing changed much. Small fish, beans, and rice. So now if you're living in a car, you can get the rice that's already prepared at Dollar Tree and the beans. And then small fishes. He mixes everything up and heats it in the microwave. But I think in my case, I prefer to have my rice, my beans, and my my fishes separate. I mean, just eating the fish out of the can. So I was going by this when I bought this, and this has to do, here is what the Romans imported. And same, coincidentally, the Chinese told the Chinese people to stock up on this in case there's a food shortage. And then put this in the back of your mind, oatmeal trail mix and granola. This is going to help us survive if something, God forbid, happens. Okay, so here we go. So you can fit this in a little box. This fudge is not as good as my homemade fudge, but it's pretty good. I got this marked way down. All right. Think about Rocky Ingram, I-N-G-R-A-M, fish, rice, and beans. So, at Dollar Tree, you can get these still for $1.25, but I've seen this stuff up over $2 and almost $3. So I bought 2, and usually I make potato soup, or you can use canned, or you can just eat them out of the jar. And I make potato soup, and I just put the oysters and everything in them. This is the one, yeah, this is the one I like. Smoked oysters with carrots, onions, and red chili peppers. So when you put that in your potato soup, and if you have some bread or some crackers, you can survive. And $1.25 is really, really a good price on these. Then I bought, this is another thing. I could still get it for $1.25. So I eat each day a half a can because I can't take an entire can. So with mussels, you can make a chowder, but you can also just get a package of linguine and put the mussels in that. And that's a pretty good meal. And then I bought 2 cans of this luncheon loaf. And you can make this with some eggs, or you can eat some crackers and cheese, or you can bake these like a little ham, and you can make some potatoes and a vegetable, which is what I generally do. Is that showing? Yeah. Okay, then, so this is Dollar Tree. With this, with this luncheon loaf, I also make a stir fry. So I cut the luncheon loaf in little pieces, or it could be Spam. I fry it in some oil. I move it over. I break some eggs and the others. I move that over. I get some butter or margarine, and I scramble eggs. And then all I do is I add rice, peas and carrots, frozen, or any veggies, salt, pepper, and sugar, and soy sauce. So that's going to make a lot. Okay, or, you know, ham and cheese sandwich, sort of. The mussels, you can just eat those out of the can, but I think they would be better. I buy the small packages of linguine. So that was $10.15, and this is 11 portions. Okay, so this would take me through the next 2 weeks easily, but then I went to Grocery Outlet because I wanted to buy some English muffins. These are really fresh, so I paid $3.69. And the reason I did that is because I was going to make it for tonight, but my I had the rest of my Easter dinner, and I'm not hungry. I still have turkey and macaroni and cheese, so I put it in a little baggie, and I'll probably eat that. I might make a sandwich. So okay, I have a half a can of anchovies. This is what I was really looking for today for $1. So my idea is to toast one of these, put pizza sauce, and then I have cheese. Pizza sauce, then put the anchovies, and then some cheese on top. So I want to eat some fish every day for the essential amino acids so that I don't get senile, I don't get some kind of malnourishment. All right, then, okay, now this stuff, this is the pizza sauce. You can just put this on pasta too, but the main thing I use this for is I'll make pizzas, but my new favorite chicken recipe is wash the chicken in salt and vinegar. So I put in there, swish it around, then I rinse it dry. Then I put mayonnaise and pizza sauce on the chicken, and I bake 350. So why this is good is so that I have chicken that tastes good with the conchs, the quinoa, the barley, and then this is a good rice that I found that would be good with the rice and beans. So these are a little bit blah, but if you have the pizza sauce on your chicken, or you had some meatloaf, something like that would be good. And then I can't find these anymore, but if I do, I'll buy 6. Because these are $1.59, and these are 14 ounces, and these are 15 ounces. And so I just keep them in the, when I open it, I just keep eating it until it's gone. Then I bought, now this was a good price, 4 cans of these, the mackerel for 99 cents. And so what I have in mind to do with this is the same thing as with the anchovies, just toast an English muffin, put the mackerel with tomato sauce and some cheese, and make myself like a little pizza. Okay, so then I saw they had the nuts really cheap for $1.99. So you need some fish and some nuts. So what I want to do with those is I want to make granola. Here's my easy granola recipe. I was going to make it tonight, but I thought you don't really need it tonight. And then I want to keep this. I make half a batch, and then I want to keep this in a mason jar so nothing happens to it. I keep it in the refrigerator. Oh, here's my, okay, so here is the first no spend. And I'm way down here now. These are spend days. And then here's the next one. All these are really no spend days, but I'm still going with 1 no spend, 1 spend, 2 no spends, 2 spends, 3 no spends, and then I have 1 day left at the end of the month. So you see there's 14 days left. So that is why I bought the nuts. And then I bought, now this was a real fabulous deal, $16.99. Okay, this is Bavarian Meats Original ends and pieces, but I learned this just like yesterday. Now this has to do with beans and rice. All right? Ooh, don't tell me I took this out. You know, okay? The Frugal Life with Mercedes, cheapest meal ever, beans and rice, what to eat when money's tight. So what she did is she put some sausages in her beans and rice. So these are easy to store. These are storable. And then I forgot to tell you, but I bought 2 of these facial wipes because I wear quite a bit. You notice my face has no makeup. My skin was so rotten, I had to call it off. So now, back to the subject at hand. Now, about these sausages. All right. These are slow baked, slow smoked, and fermented. All right. No sugar, no fillers, but you can't get them anymore because the plant was permanently closed October 21 because the plant was attacked by swarms of flies and it created a stench. So they permanently closed the plant down. So that is an example of some of the crappy stuff that can happen that can really mess up our food. So it's going to be so much better for us if we are prudent and we stock up a little food. So see how much food I have in just a little box. All right, so now I also bought something. Two of these half and halves for $1.57 each. That is a fabulous deal. And what I do late at night is I eat bowls of granola or cereal with half and half. Okay, I want to show you what happened. I was trying to make clotted cream. And I think what I did was I got up in the middle of the night and I turned the oven off because I check my stuff multiple times. And so let me see if I can find the lid to my blender. Ah, here we go. So I thought, okay, my clotted cream did not clot. So I'm just going to try to make some butter with this stuff now. Oh, wait, there was some clotted cream in here. Oh, awesome. Oh, no, that's false alarm. And this one, I assume, is the same. So my refrigerator is really cold. Actually, this stuff could count. I want to say that. First of all, I love to eat that. That one was part heavy cream. Oh, this is awesome. And part half and half, and this one was, oh, awesome. All right, so that other blob must be clotted too. I thought it was a total and complete failure. This tastes so good. All right. You might go, that's awful. You're going to get clogged arteries. No, I'll be fine. I can just eat that. Let's see if I can make some butter. To tell if it's going to create any butter very quickly. I think it is. So what I'm going to do is I am going to freeze my butter, and I'm going to freeze because I had bought half and half marked down. So that is off. You know what else you can do that is really, really good? You can put your clotted cream in your coffee or your tea. Yummy. Small joys. Ah, that is so good. So I'll freeze my clotted cream and I'll freeze my butter. I'll show you the butter tomorrow. And then with the milk that's left, I will eat that on my granola or my cereal. Let me give you a shot. I know there's people out there that are taking this in. They don't always make a comment. They don't always do it right away, but it's in there. Okay, now I want to talk about thinking about your car as a home. I was doing very good, and then I got sidetracked. When you lose your home or apartment, then you've still got your car. Or if you don't have a car, if you have a down payment and you have a fixed income, you can get a van. Better yet, always have a van. Okay, so you're thinking about your car as a home. So today, so you're in your home, you have to eat. So today I saw at grocery outlet, cereal, 2 boxes, regular full-size boxes for $1, but I have cereal. Okay, so now if you buy at Walmart 3 packages, the one that's 3 packages of powdered milk, you're not going to waste, but you're going to, oh, this stuff's so delicious, you guys. $5. Clotted cream would be great in coffee. All right, so you're in a car, and the thing is, I remember when my ex-husband died, people go, how did you know? I had been thinking about it. I go, it's only a matter of time, and I had it planned what we were going to do. So the same thing, we're planning in case. All right, I have a car that will work, but I'm short. If you're taller, you kind of need a cargo van or any kind of a van, or a truck with a truck thing, but those are getting expensive. So now if you live in a car, what you can do, I've seen all kinds of car setups. I thought, yeah, because you were not thinking about this. If you push your passenger side all the way up and you put a plastic box behind the seat, then you can stretch out on the diagonal and sleep. It's not good for you to sleep sitting up with your knees bent. Okay, but if a car is still better, you can sleep in the back seat than out in the elements. All right, try to find a place with 24-hour access to restrooms. Now, if you're not annoying, you can access all kinds of places all day long, all night long. Okay, now that is to avoid having to go to the restroom in your car. But if you use like a big cup, like one of these, if you have these, then you can throw them away. Keeping it in the car is a bad idea. Just set it outside to the side. And then if you have a sleeping bag, you just either sleep on top of your sleeping bag or pull your sleeping bag up over you. So you can park at most Walmarts if you're not obnoxious. And then I think they close about 11. But Denny's, you can drink coffee in Denny's. I think there's refills. I found this out. Denny's is open from 3 a.m. until 3 a.m., closes for 1 hour, and opens up at 4 a.m. So you have access to a restroom. The casino, access to a restroom, but the casinos are usually on the outskirts of town. Also, places like Walgreens that are open 24 hours a day, you can park by them because then you look like an employee parking. What you don't want to do is you only want to access the places where you want to sleep when you're sleeping. You don't want to like set up camp, you're reading, you're smoking. No, because then it looks like you're homeless. Okay, a Ralph's 6 a.m. to 1 a.m. Okay, I have a Ralph's right by a Denny's. I don't think it's a good idea. Well, like you could park outside where I live because it's on a hill, but there's no restroom there. You can be in the libraries. You know, you can sit around. I'd say the thing is, don't overstay your welcome in any one place. There's parks. We have Lake Mead, you know, go to more than one. Okay, and then there's bus depots that have restrooms 24 hours a day. The one out here charges 25 cents. That is fine and well worth it in my mind. Okay, so now think about food storage. That is so important. Okay, you're thinking, I don't have any extra money because if something like this happens to me, I'm going to need all the money I ever had. Okay, so for food storage, you need water. So what you can do is you can get a gallon of water. I always have these. And just put a few tea bags in these, and then it's better than only water. Because you're going to cut way down, so eventually you're going to find a place like Pahrump, Nevada that has very cheap rent. Okay, so you have tea, and you're going to get jars or these kind of things with a lid, and you're going to keep your food, because I notice like a lot of people waste, not on purpose, it just spills all over the car. Like when I was trying to help people, like we had to try and help people when I got sober so we could survive, right? Ourselves. Thinking about it, somebody else besides yourself. Okay, so now they have the pre-cooked rice at Dollar Tree. You just open the package and eat it. Rocky and Graham eats 2 of those a day. Then there's beans in cans. You just open it and you eat that. And then there's the fish. Like the sardines, he eats 5. But, you know, you don't have to go crazy. There's salmon. There's tuna. But the larger fishes might have mercury. And then think about vegetables like cucumbers, tomatoes, pickles, and pickled vegetables. So if you have a cooler, you try to get a cooler as soon as you can. And then you can put your ice in there, and it's like an ice box. When I went to the food church, one of the men told me that's what they did for it, and a refrigerator. So you can get marked down vegetables, the nice assortments, the $5 bags for a few dollars. And so you have canned meat and you have bread, so you can have sandwiches. Okay, now think about, so you need medical. So if you find the medical clinics, if you're homeless or if you're a drug user, that's a high risk activity. You can usually get free medical, or they'll tell you where you can get it. Food pantries and churches, so you need coolers. And they also give you dog food. And then the last thing I came is you want a routine. So say you go to McDonald's and you get a coffee and a refill. Then maybe you go to the park. Then maybe you go to the shopping center. You know, and you want a different place. The most important thing is sleeping. So maybe, you know, you find a good place, but you really don't want to get to know people. That's just my opinion. So let me give you a shot of this, because I've been watching prophecy channels. One of the worst prophecy channels is The Master's Voice by Celestial. Americans are going to be thrown into poverty. We're going to be naked and we're going to be carried off by the Russians and the Chinese. So, you know, we need to prepare for that. I have actually given this some thought, and my thought is if something happens, I want to be able to go to Canada. I want to go north. I was lucky. I mentioned to you guys, I saw they had plants for $1.99, but all the plants were $5 except for this guy. But the plants I just bought are growing like crazy. They're like 2.5 feet tall, and I just bought them. I planted them in my backyard. I had a bunch of crummy dirt, and they seem to be growing okay. So I just wanted to mention this. You don't have to do anything about it. Although I would suggest these healthy, cheap food plans. Like if we're used to eating beans and rice, if we're used to making butter when we buy the milk and the heavy cream on sale, that is going to help us so much ultimately. We're going to make yogurt. We're going to make all kinds of stuff. My fruitcake was really, if that works out, then, you know, my next fruitcake will be really cheap because I'll have the butter. Okay, you guys, I will see you tomorrow. Please like, comment, and subscribe. And if you have good comments about crisis preparedness, I have had customers that worked in FEMA. I don't want to rely on FEMA. But if I had no choice, yeah, I probably would. And maybe store up a little cash. All right, bye, you guys. No extra money is the most important thing. All my money, I'm going to need it all.